Hello everyone and welcome back to another London walking tour video. Right now I'm on the district line into London. So in today's video we'll be starting out around Hyde Park, going through there first, then we'll see some of the museums there. Then I'll meet up with my friend Andrew and we'll explore the rest of the city a little bit as well. Right now we're just crossing the Thames over the bridge, so I'll see you when I'm off the tube.
The next station is Putney Bridge.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
So we're in Paddington at the moment. We're gonna go to Hyde Park to Kensington Palace. Yeah, it's quite windy today, so hopefully that doesn't mess with the recording too much. We're at Sussex Gardens, which is a nice street, as you can see. So now we've entered Hyde Park here at Italian Gardens. I've never been to this part of Hyde Park before though. Yeah, I'm looking for the fastest way to Kensington Palace. I think it's this one or that one. I think both would be good probably. Over there is the Serpentine, which is a big lake in Hyde Park. And as I mentioned in the Belgravia video, which I did like 2 years ago now, like the Westbourne River used to flow from over there. Would enter the park here, then they dammed it up at the other end of the park to create this pond. At the moment it's not part of the river anymore, but it used to be, because they diverted the river underground through the sewers, I think to clear them, to clean the sewers. But yeah, fun fact, this used to be a dammed up river to create a big lake in the middle of Hyde Park. There's the palace in the distance. You can really see how windy it is by the fact that this relatively small pond is creating lots of waves. Never seen it this bad before. The wind. It's too windy, they're not going forward, they just fly in the same place. So here we have Kensington Palace. There's a statue of Victoria in front as well. Yeah, this is where Victoria grew up for the most of their youth. Another fun fact is that behind Kensington Palace is an area where a lot of royals have their residences here in London. Well, not the Queen, but more the minor royals. It's at the end here of Hyde Park in Kensington Gardens. Looks like a rain cloud is just passing over. I think it's quite sporadic, the weather today. I see it's clear there. There's some rain clouds around, and due to the high winds, the clouds move quite fast as well. So I feel like there's gonna be some more random showers later. It does look like a particularly big swan compared to the other ones. Maybe that's just how big they get. They run quite fast, these birds. Wonder what kind of bird they are. Got like speckles on them. Yeah, it's also raining a bit again. They don't seem to be too scared of humans. Yeah, I'm surprised how close they're letting me get. Oh, that was quite close. Yeah, I don't know how close that looked on camera because I'm using like the wide, the fisheye lens on the GoPro. Well, the GoPro's standard lens is the wide one, but it was like half a meter or something. That's how close I got to that little bird. Also, I said this in the Lost Walk video. Over there, got BT Tower. That's where I have to go to shoot some of my clips for this video that's coming out in the summer. That's secretive. So hopefully today I'll get there. I didn't get there in the last video, but hopefully we'll get a little closer today. And it's clearing up again, the sun's shining. You can see there's a lot of contrast between that side and that side. The different type of geese. I mean, geese tend to be a little more aggressive, so I don't want to get too close to them. So we're still in Hyde Park. There we have the Albert Memorial. Behind that, the dome structure is the Royal Albert Hall. Yeah, this memorial, you can see, probably see there's a lot of gold. Queen Victoria had it built after he died. And yeah, she was very sad and stayed in mourning for the rest of her life. We're in the museum part of London now. To the left over here we got the Natural History Museum. Looks like they're doing some renovations over there. Then next door we have the V&A, Victoria and Albert Museum. It's more like art, but it's also got some like old history stuff in. Down the road we have the Science Museum as well, if I remember correctly. So, oh yeah, there you are. Natural History, V&A and Science Museum. Yeah. We're going that way towards Knightsbridge now. This is the main entrance to the V&A. We've got Harrods here. Probably the most well-known department store in the world. But yeah, closed now due to COVID. So here's a map. We're at Harrods. Now we're gonna find the underground, which is over there. We're gonna go to King's Cross St. Pancras, and there we're gonna meet my friend Andrew. Okay, so I've met up with Andrew, which you might know from IBX Toy Cats.
Nah, that's my twin.
Oh right, yeah.
He looks a lot like me, sounds like me, but yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like that guy.
Yeah, so we're gonna record some videos. Andrew got some recording to do. I've got some recording to do. We're at St. Pancras and King's Cross at the moment. So yeah, we'll see where the day takes us. We haven't really got a route planned yet.
We don't.
No.
By the way, you know what? My fun fact I have to mention everywhere, and that includes your channel, is even though this is the station from Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling was actually picturing Euston Station, and so when they filmed Harry Potter, they did it in Euston. There's a 9 3/4 platform in there for tourists, but it's the wrong 9 3/4, and I'll forever tell people about that on the internet. Don't go. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that because I knew you had some fun fact about the station, but I didn't remember what it was.
I feel like I have a fun fact about every station in London. It's a problem I have. It's a real problem. You don't want to learn about trains. They make you boring. Don't do it, Instant. Don't do it.
Andrew likes trains.
I do like trains. I do like trains.
We're on in Camden now. Got this old statue with a lot of pigeons on from 1846, I believe. Well, sometime in the 1800s. We also got Mornington Crescent station, which is one of the nice stations with those tiles. There's a few stations that have a similar look to this, and they were all commissioned by the same architect, I'm pretty sure. They were one of the nice old tube stations in London. It's a pretty small station. You know if there's any smaller ones.
Oh, I feel like there has to be one in the edges somewhere, but in zone 1, this must be one of the smallest, right?
Look, which other station has like doors like this?
Yeah.
Which other
This
two?
looks like an office hallway, this doesn't look like a train station. And then even when you get down there, yeah, we could be in an office building right now, and you wouldn't spot it. That's kind of crazy. It's even more confusing when you look through them. Like, what is back there?
That's a tiny hallway. Yeah, it's definitely the smallest tube station that I've been to.
Honestly, it's surprising they even built this train station given how close it is to Camden.
Yeah.
It seems kind of unnecessary, right?
I guess we have to go this way, one-way system.
One-way system.
Gotta follow the arrows.
Wait. Okay, you know, here's a tip for your viewers. When it says one-way system, it's a lie. You can, look, there's nothing stopping me. And also it's faster to go than not one-way, which is a bad thing to do in normal times, but for now we could do it. Because I was helping them there. Otherwise I'd approve one way. They're usually like, I think it's one of Tottenham Court Road. The one-way system makes you walk an extra like 5 minutes, or you just go down one hallway you're not meant to and you get straight to the platform. And it's deliberately to like slow people down. And it's like, well, I don't want to be slowed down. But it's like, it's one of those things where like, not everyone does. This is so echoey.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's the most interesting tube station today. Like, its whole existence seems unnecessary, but...
So right now we're in Covent Garden station, and this station has a really long staircase which we will climb today. It also has elevators, but we decided to take on the challenge and climb these stairs. As you probably can see from the signs, they do try to deter people from taking the stairs and recommend the elevator, but we were lucky that we were the only ones there at the moment. But usually before COVID, this is quite busy as it's quite a touristy place, Covent Garden. So as you can imagine, a lot of the time people would just take the stairs because they wouldn't want to have to wait for the lifts. You're taking... no, we'll take the stairs.
They're really fun stairs. Have you watched Jeff Marshall's tube station 15th floor video?
I think I did, but like a long time ago.
Basically, every time there is a number of stairs, they just say it's equivalent to a 15-story building, no matter how different the stairs are. Like 140 steps, equivalent to a 15-story building. 220 steps, equivalent to a 15-story building. And the craziest bit about it is, like, in some cases they under-exaggerate, which is like the opposite of what they want to do. They want to convince you not to take these stairs, because a lot of people are like, you know, you assume you can do that number of stairs, and halfway up, you get out of breath, because there's a problem for everyone involved. But so they want you not to take these, and sometimes they under-exaggerate the number of stories, and sometimes they over-exaggerate. And it just seems like someone's really lazy, and has never heard what a story actually is. Fun fact.
Yeah, I'm really starting to feel it now.
Yeah. The good news, if you eat any terrible food in Covent Garden, and there's a lot of it you can eat, you can burn off the calories on the walk. I think my legs are killing me. The worst bit about it is because it's a circuit. Like, the fastest way is to take these, but it's so much scarier.
Oh yeah, because they're narrow.
Yeah.
Oh. I remember taking these once on a busy summer's day with all of the people, and the lifts were broken. Luckily it's we're the only ones here at the moment.
Very luckily. 95 more steps, we can do this.
Okay. Oh.
See, you think you're done, you get that false sense of confidence,
Oh.
and then what they do is they give you another step stairs.
Oh, they gave us like a little resting place.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, we finally made it. Oh, I guess we found some other wooden doors.
Oh wow, yeah. It's so nice.
Oh, actually, I talked about it when you were in Pret. But this is another one of those tube stations with those tiles, just like Mornington Crescent. That was designed by the same person. I don't know his name. I forgot his name.
Or is it the guy who like the weird tiles, right? And they're like monuments to part of London.
Yeah, yeah. And then so you can find some tube stations with this particular style across London, and then you know that it's built by the same person.
Wait, one more fun fact. Every tube station has one of these little puzzles where you gotta like solve the maze. This is puzzle 230 of 270. Try and solve them all.
That's gonna be our next video.
Going to all 270 stations.
And this is the outside of the building.
It looks so old-timey, and then at the top there you can just see like some really modern-looking offices. It's interesting. I guess modern by London standards. That's not modern by anyone else's standards.
I like that building though, with all the vegetation.
More buildings should do that, honestly. Like, it's probably a pain to upkeep, but
Oh right.
other than that, more buildings should do that. So allow me to show you the 7 Dials Roundabout in London. This is a place I always take my dates, and Kobe is no exception. If you want to impress someone with London, this 7 Dials Roundabout is so interesting because it is a roundabout with 7 exits. And that sounds like nothing by itself. And don't get me wrong, it's absolutely nothing by itself. But because it's 7 and not 8, again, an 8-way roundabout, you'd understand, it'd be like a lot of, but it's 7, and so it's all bizarrely angled. You can only get streets like this in unplanned places like London, where somehow this many streets just came together in a way that is so inefficient to space. Look at this theatre right here. Look at the angle it has to take. Look at this pub, the Crown behind me, and the angle this is. This pop-up store over here, this Lumas, and because this is a fancy part of London, a Cafe Nero. Wow, what a treat for everyone involved. No, it's super interesting, and I figured I'd take all of you along because internet, you're my date for the day now.
We saw some museums earlier in the video, and now we're I guess this is the last main museum in London that we hadn't seen. British Museum.
If you like the British Museum, the reason you usually want to go is because they've got so many artifacts that other countries want back, and that sounds like a bad thing, and sure, like on a is that okay or not level, something interesting there. But these are artifacts so good, other countries want them back and are going through lots of effort to get them, and that's why you need to go see them. Also, if you're a fan of taking culture from other countries, let me tell you about my favorite thing in the area. There's a bubble tea place in this corner, Coco. It's from Taiwan, I want to say. Very good. So, bubble tea, British Museum, best part of London.
Now we're in Russell Square. There you can see the BT Tower again. I've been promising now for 2 videos that we're gonna go visit it, but I don't think we'll make it today either.
I don't see a BT Tower. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't see it. Don't see it. It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist, yeah.
I think you must be referring to that building in front of it. That's not a tower.
Yeah.
That's a house. Or the tree, maybe? Oh yeah, the tree's
yeah,
kind of like a tower. I don't see any tower. What are you talking about? Don't reveal secrets on the internet.
Yeah. Secret secret tower.
No,
Actually, I believe it's it was a myth that it just didn't appear on maps.
Oh really?
Apparently it did appear on maps, but
I heard it was on maps, but they couldn't acknowledge it. They
yeah, exactly. That's
also it's okay. That is true.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So they couldn't officially acknowledge the existence of the BT Tower, but
everyone could see it and anyone would know.
yeah. And back then it was a postal tower, and they made post stamps with it on.
Post stamps.
Postal tower. The post.
It was like.
Yeah.
How would a tower be useful for post?
I don't know. It was like
Makes no sense.
I think it was like the postal tower, and then the post office made stamps depicting the tower, which technically couldn't be depicted due to like
so
it was on the
Royal Mail broke the law as well.
yeah.
It's starting to realise how the law is just actually a construct, and if people don't follow it enough, it stops existing now.
Yeah, because it was on like what was it, like a secret buildings act or some. It was on a list or something that they couldn't acknowledge it.
It was only like the 90s where someone finally was like, you know what, this is dumb. I'm gonna acknowledge the BT Tower in Parliament, and it was only legal because she had parliamentary privilege that she's allowed to bring.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. Like she could have gotten a lot of trouble, but actually not in the Houses of Parliament. I think that's fine.
They got I think it's an insect house.
Insect hotel.
Insect hotel, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh yeah, bees and That's cute, yeah.
Are there any insects in there? You know, I
They're
don't know,
probably,
actually.
I think they tend to like do like winter sleep, so maybe there's some like wasps or something. They tend to, or bees, they tend to like sleep in logs.
Cute.
And again, like it seems like our route today is always taking us through these tube stations with those special tiles again. So yeah, there you have it, another example of those. Russell Square tube station.
It's so like bizarre seeing that like triangle of new come out of the really old building. Like it looks kind of ugly by comparison, but it's nice, it's pretty. Especially the pigeons on the top. They have some class.
So another interesting like fun fact is you'll see this in a lot of buildings, I think especially in London but also around the world. They tend to have big windows at the bottom, then as you go up the windows gradually become smaller, and this is to make like the illusion that the building is actually bigger than it actually is. Because if you imagine all the buildings should be the same size, if the ones on the top are smaller, they look further away.
I'm gonna tweet that.
You're
Stealing your video for a tweet.
Go take a picture of it. We're finishing the video here in Ealing. It's dark already, but we wanted to check out the new Amazon Fresh store. This is the first one in London, I believe the first one in the UK as well. Andrew went in, he's gonna have a little look around. So yeah, we'll see how it is after he comes back out. So Andrew, how was your visit to the Amazon Fresh store?
It feels, even though you know it in your head, you can just walk out. I still have to ask, like, so I can just walk out, it's all good? And it is, it's fine. You just walk out of the store and everything's fine. And it doesn't feel okay, but I like it. They're normalizing stealing, and that's all I've ever wanted in the world. Everyone should walk out of every store without paying until they have systems like this in place, is what I'm saying right there.
Thanks for watching. There will be more of these videos coming out in the future, so I'll put the link to the London Walks playlist on screen right now. Or if you're interested in London history, I'll put that playlist on screen as well. I'd like to thank my patrons for their support, especially my $25 patrons G. David and Parker Dye.